Welcome back to Channel 5 News at noon. Your time is 12:28, and we are looking at temperatures to get this forecast going. It's a pretty hot one out there. Rio Grande City is the hottest spot on the map right now, 97 degrees. Everywhere else, mid to lower 90s, with the exception of Port Isabel, sitting at 89 degrees right now. Now, when you take a look at your dew point values, they've fallen a little bit, mainly in the western half, and you see that they're in the mid 60s, but everywhere east of the I-69C corridor is pretty much still kind of borderline between very humid and muggy. The thing about it is, throughout the day, these digits will continue to drop a little bit more, and so you'll notice that compared to this time yesterday, it doesn't feel as hot because you have to factor in the humid air. But this time yesterday, we were already in the triple digits across most of the valley. But take a look today. We're in the mid to upper 90s for your feels like temperatures, still in the triple digits for Brownsville and Rio Grande City, and that's to be expected. But, you know, when you have less humid air around, it doesn't feel as stifling hot. Now, it's still going to be a hot one. We're talking about 101 today in Rio Grande City to 100 in McAllen, up mid to upper 90s across the rest of the valley until you get to the island, where you'll be in the upper 80s. So, yeah, another hot day, but hey, at least we have that little bit of relief from the not so humid conditions. Now, taking a look across the U.S., we'll zoom over to the East Coast, and that's where they're still getting a lot of heavy rain, mainly over Florida, Georgia, up into the Carolinas, and then up the eastern seaboard. But the thing about it is all this rain and cloud cover is keeping temperatures slightly cooler for them. And when we zoom out and we go back over to the Pacific Northwest, they have this nice little dry moment before this next system brings more rain, which it looks like it's already starting to impact the coastline of Oregon and Northern California and parts of Washington State. But this particular rain will continue for the next couple of days for them. They did get a break from that rain, and they even saw slightly warmer temperatures than what they have been. Back here in Texas, we're not going to see much of a change. Here we go. We put the clock in motion until 7 o'clock tonight, and it looks like most of the state is relatively dry, with the exception of a few showers that have been happening over the Panhandle and over West Texas. But for the most part, a dry forecast it is, all the way from about Midland going south. But when we start to put the clock in motion again, we go to Thursday afternoon, and we could see maybe a few pop-up showers like what you're seeing there if you're headed to the north. But for the most part, it's not going to be one of those situations where you're going to run into a lot of rain as you head north. If you're doing any traveling this week, looks like it's going to be relatively dry with maybe a spotty shower here and there. Now, as we head into Friday, that's where things start to change a little bit. There will be this disturbance over northern portions of Texas, so Midland will actually get a little bit of rain, as well as Amarillo, Dallas, probably even a few showers here and there in El Paso. But back here at home, we're not going to see that rain. We're going to remain dry here. So we just have too much dry air in our atmosphere to really allow for any shower activity to develop. Now, with the continued flow out of the north, so the northerly wind continues to drop our humidity, and that's how it's going to set up at least through about Saturday or so. Now, it doesn't mean it's not going to be cooler, because it's not. We're still going to see above average temperatures as we head into the rest of your work week and into the weekend, but the noticeable difference will come Sunday. And once we get that southeast flow coming back to the valley, the humidity is going to return, and you're going to feel it. It's going to feel about 5 to 7 degrees warmer than actual temperature readings. Now, we are tracking the tropics on Channel 5 News at noon. A quick peek at the Gulf and the Atlantic. Everything is quiet. The same goes for the eastern North Pacific. No tropical cyclone development is expected over the next 2 to 5 days. Now, we do have a full moon this Friday, and it's actually known as the strawberry moon, and that's because that's when native tribes actually used to go and collect fruit. So pretty cool history there. But you're going to notice that it appears a little bit smaller than most of your full moons do, and that's just because it's farther away from the earth. So still, full moon Friday should be beautiful officially at 8:10 in the morning, so I'm pretty sure you'll see it before then. Now, taking a look at your 7-day forecast, we'll be in the upper 90s all for the next 7 days, but again, you're not going to notice the humidity as much until Sunday going into early next week. Your overnight lows will stay in the low 70s for a couple of nights, tonight and tomorrow night, back to the mid to upper 70s from Friday night on. That's your updated First Swarm 5 forecast. Channel 5 News at noon. We'll be right back.